The Jubilee walkway from here goes right along the river, past HMS Belfast, and just the other side of London Bridge is the paddle steamer Princess Elizabeth, which was one of the prize vantage points for the Queen's Jubilee River pageant. It was here I met just a few of the many thousands who wanted to send the Queen a gift for Silver Jubilee year. And the first people that I'm meeting on board the Princess Elizabeth are the Pearly King of the City of London, George Hitchin, and the Pearly Queen of Edmonton, Mari Rose. Well, George, what did you give to the Queen?
I gave her a pair of pearly dolls that I made myself. We are part of London, and she's part of London because her residence is in London, so I thought it was a wonderful idea to give her a gift which not only her people can, her family can look after, but down in years to come, they'll look and say, well, that's what the Pearly Kings and Queens look like.
And now she's got her first grandchild, so that's a marvellous thing, isn't it?
That's
How
right.
did she come to get them then?
Well, I met her outside the Jeffrey Museum. The Queen saw the dolls and she broke through and her eyes lit up and she says, I said, would you accept these, Your Majesty, as a present from the Pearly King and Queen of the City of London for your Jubilee celebration? She said, I most certainly will, they're wonderful. Who made them? I said, I made them myself. So she said, well, thank you very much. Then she walked through to speak to Mari.
Well, Mari, what did the Queen say to you?
Well, I was very thrilled, I must say. And the Queen asked me about the suit, and I said I'd made it for the Silver Jubilee, and she was very, very pleased about it. And of course, it made me ever so happy to hear that she was pleased. And then she said to me, well, I'd like to see the back of it.
Well, let us see the back of it, as the Queen
So I did.
What have you got on the back? You've got the crown here, and then 1952 to 1977. Silver Jubilee across the top. That really is beautiful, and on the silver background as well.
Yes. I thought I'd make the silver grey because being Silver Jubilee, and I was pleased to buy the little red, white and blue buttons as well to go with the suit, you know. And she was very, very pleased about it, and she sort of stood for a minute, and of course when I turned round I thought, oh, this is a mirage. But when I came back again, she was standing there, and it was wonderful.
Several of the people who were on board the Princess Elizabeth on the day of the river pageant, June the 9th, have many memories of that day. Peggy, what will you remember about it?
Oh dear, it was very exciting, very colourful. People, you know, we had 400 people on here from the Commonwealth, and they thoroughly enjoyed it.
Oh, it's the most fabulous day I think I've ever spent on board. I was really fabulous. I had a whale of a time with the Highland dancers. I was trying on their sporrans and their buzzbeers, and they was all kissing me going up the stairs. And there was, well, I suppose it was a bit of a crank on the side there, waiting to swim out to the Queen with a bunch of roses.
And Ruby, have you memories?
Yes, a very exciting day. The Highlanders playing their bagpipes and the Highland dancers and the Queen going past in the barge.
These very beautiful coins were sent to the Queen for the Silver Jubilee by Maureen Howlett and Jack Carpenter. Maureen, what made you send them in the first place?
Because I wanted to send her a gift that I had to produce, to work on, but would also mean something to the Queen herself.
And do you know that it meant something to the Queen?
Well, the 3 coins we sent were a coronation crown, a silver wedding crown, and a Jubilee crown. So, you know, we decided we would send those 3.
Did you hear from her?
Yes, we got a reply back by return of post.
And what did the letter say?
Well, it said that the Queen was very pleased to receive the gift, and she much admired the fine workmanship, and she would be keeping them.
What did you feel like when you got that letter?
Well, after I got the letter back off the dog, because she collects the letters as they come through the post, we was delighted. I'm absolutely knocked out. I couldn't believe it, really.
But Jack, you're a lover of coins from way back, aren't you?
Oh yes, I've liked coins for a long, long time, yeah. And I think each coin that is produced is a masterpiece, because governments pay hundreds or even probably thousands of pounds for to the people who actually design the coins, and to bring them out in colour, it finishes them off. It shows you how beautiful they are, and they are beautiful.
And Maureen, what made you decide to send some of these coins to the Queen?
Well, I just wanted to say thank you to my Queen for 25 years hard work, And I thought that even if she gets them and drops them in the dustbin, she will at least read my name and she knows that I exist. Absolutely knocked out, you know, that she did accept them.
The coins that Maureen Howlett sent to the Queen are now on display in St James's Palace as part of an exhibition showing many of the gifts that have been sent to Her Majesty during Silver Jubilee year. The exhibition opened to the public last week and will be open until Christmas Eve. I went along just before the opening to talk to the designer of the exhibition, Tim Hopewell Ash. Well, Tim, what a mixture of gifts. How many, in fact, did you have to sort out for the exhibition?
Well, over 1,000, and when they opened the door at Buckingham Palace and I saw all these things, I must say I felt a bit weak at the knees. But I recovered when I saw number 1, which was a splendid painting of an oil rig, which I think really is, you know, today and tomorrow.
But you have such a mixture of gifts here. To display them must have been a very difficult task. In a building as traditional as this, too.
Yes, this is a very richly ornated setting, and the difficulty was that it might overcome the present, so I gave it a very strong and simple sort of form with this purple colour, and that sort of held the whole thing together.
What is the thing that struck you most about the gifts that have been sent to the Queen?
Well, the immense feeling of love that came through, you know, everything. It was really quite a moving task handling it, to think that everybody had sent it with love.
There are some very beautiful things. There are some very strange things. For instance, number 450 over there.
An 18th century pewter syringe, which I thought was rather strange, but it wasn't for me to question why these things had been sent. This is a particularly nice gift, a map of all the beacons of England. When the Queen was at the bonfire at Windsor, I thought she looked particularly happy, and very handsome with the crowns on the staff at the top. Now, this is a very rare and unusual thing to find in St James's Palace. It's a soapstone sculpture from Mr. Parkinson of Canada, and it's one of the many gifts which have come from abroad. And it is the contrast between these things and the cuddly toy, the giant tortoise up there, next to the silver palace from the President of India, which formed the link which helped me to make the display, you'll see.
And many things, of course, have come from abroad, haven't they? They were either given, presumably, to the Queen on a tour or sent.
Yes, and there are many more in the throne room. If you'd like to come through, I'll show you.
This is the magnificent throne room at St James's Palace. I must say that the pictures around and all the colours, the red walls and the gold and white, it looks very super, doesn't it?
It's very splendid indeed, with a great portrait of George IV there.
And what about these gifts in the middle here, Tim?
Well, they're all from the South Pacific tour, and they're a wonderful sample of all the different textures. The shell baskets by the Queen of Tonga, and fur, and rattan, and carved timber, and some rather spooky birds and skulls and things there.
And you know, Tim, when I see that dining room suite, for instance, in the heavy wood, which was a present from the government and the people of Fiji, I often wonder how the Queen got home from some of these royal tours.
Well, I think they had a tanker following the royal yacht, and they used it as a sort of floating lorry and shoved everything in.
Of all the things that you've seen and put on exhibition here, what are the sort of things that please you most?
Oh, I think the royal addresses, from young and old, from far and near, and they all symbolise the people's love for the Queen and the throne.
Well, all that mixture of unrelated objects given by the Queen's many devoted and loyal subjects was most impressive and very touching. But I can't help wondering what the Queen will do with all those things at the end of this Jubilee year. Goodbye.